Welcome, boys and girls. So today we do have quite an interesting story to look at. As you might have told guessed by the thumbnail, it was a Grand Theft Keepstar. Now, these things are not easy to steal, and they are really not easy to steal unless, someone messes up the timings. They are really hard to steal because someone always has a watch or alarm clocked for this. So it was quite an impressive attempt, and we are going to be diving into the story on how it happened, what happened. But guys, if you are new to the channel, welcome, and I appreciate having you here. First of all, if you would like to subscribe to the channel, and decide at the end of the video if you want to subscribe or not. I don't want to say you should subscribe at the very start of the video. If at the end of the video you do think that I deserve your subscribe or like, that would be wildly appreciated, as we are working our way towards 10k by the end of the year, which is a tall order, as we have gotten 4 months to go to get 5,000 subscribers odd. So it's a tall order, but I'm trying. Hopefully we'll get there. So let's dive into this. I've got a lot of things to go over. There's a little bit of story time with this, and if you're in the Imperium, I know you love story time. So sit back and enjoy. So I saw the Lost Mail on Zkill, and with every big kill mail, I try and get in touch with find out what actually happened with what the story is, and all that sort of stuff. So the gentleman actually managed to get back to me, which I wildly appreciate. So thank you so much for responding and whatnot. We will look at the Reddit post in a minute, explaining the whole thing really, but he kind of explains it in this clip, in this message as well. He was trying to steal it, and it was purely a target of opportunity, and a very lucky opportunity with a direct extra large connection. So they came from a wormhole. That is sheer luck, like coming out of a wormhole and finding a keepstar that's unanchoring. That is insane. I might publish my own video on the footage. Hopefully he does, and I will be keeping an eye out for that video, because that would be really cool to see. So he looked at, he had a look at his footage, and his main in the Buisness actually would have saved the avalanche if the avalanche have lived 1 second longer. That is rough. So the damage on the freighter from the drifter mattered, frustrating, but just more motivation to find another one. I learned a lot from this attempt, so I'm reasonably optimistic about attempt number 2 if another opportunity presents itself. This was the second unanchoring keepstar that I found. I had no idea how to steal the first one when I found it, so I spent a few weeks working out a strategy. I didn't have enough time to try for that one, so I was extremely pleased when I found NC.keepstar unanchoring, as you would be, it creates an opportunity. Credit to illustrious Asher for inspiring and helping me to with this sort of nonsense. His Fortizar and Fortizar core steals are legendary in wormhole space. Former Turbo leader and Eve talk show host Mark Resurrectus, now CCP Jotun, has some personal experience with having his fort core stolen by him. While Turbo had a fleet on grid, no less. I got to watch that live on Ash's Discord stream, and it was insanely hype. That is cool. Right, let's have a look at this Reddit post now. So this is on an old Reddit page, and so we'll go through the ins and outs here and what actually led up to it. Wormholes connecting different. So basically, yeah, this is a long, fleshed out version versus a short version. But I think for people that aren't sure how this exactly transpired, I think this is more beneficial than reading the short version. Wormholes connect different systems randomly in a similar way to stargates, but have more restrictions. You can sometimes follow a chain of wormholes where one leads to another, and you get this regularly in systems that are in wormhole space, also known as J space. You have to interact with scanning the minigame to find them, usually just called scanning. You're scanning out of a wormhole, only connected solar system down a chain, and found a keepstar in the process of being unanchored. When a structure unanchors, it's available to play in space for anyone to take, as long as they're in the right place at the right time. A keepstar is a large, highly valuable structure. It's too large to fit in anything but a freighter, which is highly vulnerable ship and limited defense capabilities. When you unanchor a structure, it starts a 7-day timer, and that only one person who starts it can see. Once it's the unanchoring state, anyone who warps the structure can see that, but not the timer or for when it unanchors. I backscan my wormhole chain for extra large holes from this system to the keepstar to low or high security space. Wormholes have mass restrictions. Extra large wormholes are required to move freighter, and extra large connections to low sec, high sec can be difficult to find. I found a route for the freighter, but there were several drifters along the way, one of which almost killed me before even getting into system. Drifters are very difficult to kill, dangerous NPCs that warp from wormhole to wormhole, killing anything that can get their scramblers on. I managed to get the freighter through and logged it off in system, waiting the keep star and anchoring. I kept an eye on the keep with a separate scout for 2 weeks. They restarted the timer once. This required a large amount of vigilance since I did not know the exact timer. When it finally unanchored, I logged in the freighter and managed to scoop the keep from the space before their freighter pilot could. Unfortunately, they had a fleet of ships defending it this time. I fucked up a lot on my plan to try and get the freighter off grid while trying to scoop the keep star fit. Also expensive. And my freighter died. The keep died along with it. It had a 50% chance to drop, and it didn't drop. The kill mail in air is the freighter with the keep star in it that didn't drop. In some sense, this is like killing a keep star by myself, but I was really hoping I'd be able to get away with stealing it, though I didn't expect to. Still, it's a good story, I think. Why else do I play the game if not to live for cool stories? And the guy is absolutely right. Stuff like this is hilarious to do. Like this guy, one of my favorite comments under one of his posts was someone literally said, "No one can say no balls to you." Like, that was a solid effort. So I'll bring up the kill mail for you now. Where is it? So here is the kill mail. It was Mr. Intercold from the Vanguard of Dragon Knights in an avalanche freighter in the middle of Malpay. So as you can see here, he did have some tank. Some tank and some, aligned stuff and whatnot. He had a smart bomb to kill any bubbles that landed on him, rapid heavy missile launcher, which is battleship weapons. So he had that on there. And, he had some preparations, but he managed to get the keep star there, which didn't drop. He probably should have just got the keep star and the core and ran. But unfortunately, it didn't transpire that way. And I think I do have a couple screenshots of the actual. This is when he had the keep star in his avalanche when he took the picture. So as you can see, Northern Coalition with the Redeemer and Sabers and all that sort of stuff are on top of him, and the fitting is in here, so you can just see some of the fit off the side there. But he managed to grab the keep star, and that was in his cargo. And then this is what it was. That's where his armor and hull was at before he even went in to steal it. So hindsight, if he'd managed to get that repaired, I think he probably would have stood a better chance of stealing it. But hindsight 2020 and all that sort of good stuff. So I'll leave a link to the post below and the kill mail, even though you can just go to Zkill and see it. But if it's gone by the time you're watching this, you can always have a look back and check it out. But I thought this was 100% worth mentioning because Grand Theft Keep Stars don't happen very often, and this is just this is the epitome of Eve. So someone sees an opportunity and takes it, and it was only 12 of them, but they didn't need much to kill him anyway. But it is a hell of a story, so I thought I would share that one with you guys. Right, I best get working on this weekly news update video. So I thought I'd give you this one. We've got another couple stories. We've got another story about that officer fit Sarathiel coming next week. That's going to be out next week. We've got I've managed to speak to the guy and get some information about it, and it was that kill mail was juicier than we thought. So yeah, stay tuned for that one, guys. And if I did earn you subscribe, thank you so much, you're a legend. And also, if you did find this funny or in any way, shape or form entertaining, a like would also appreciate too. Thank you for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll see you next time.